Sunny Boy, Part 1, written by Anna Wendell Bontemps. When Bubber first learned to play the trumpet, his old grandpa looked at him and said with a laugh, "You'd better mind how you blow that horn, Sunny Boy. You'd better mind." "I like to play loud. I like to blow fast. And I like to blow high," Bubber answered. "Listen to this, Grandpa." When Bubber was a little bigger, he began to carry his trumpet everywhere. So his old grandpa put on his whiskers and laughed again. "Hey, you'd better mind where you blow that horn, boy. I used to blow one myself, and I know." Bubber smiled. "Where did you ever blow music, Grandpa?" "Down in New Orleans and all up and down the Mississippi River. I blow the trumpet most everywhere in my young days. I tell you, you'd better mind where you go blowing." "I like to blow my trumpet in the school band. I like to blow it on the landing when the river boats come in. And I like to blow it along the trees in the woods," he said smilingly. But when he looked at his grandpa again, he saw a worried look on the old man's face, and he asked, "What's the trouble, Grandpa? Ain't that all right?" Grandpa shook his head. "I wouldn't do it if I were you." That sounded funny to Bubber, but he did not dispute his grandfather. Instead, he said, "I don't believe I ever heard you blow the trumpet, Grandpa. Want to blow mine?" The old man shook his head. "Oh, my blowing days are gone," he said. Bubber felt sorry for his grandfather, and he said, "I will mind where I blow my horn, Grandpa." The next day, Bubber went into the woods to blow his horn. 2 or 3 days later, he was blowing under a tree when the sun went down, and he forgot where he was. Then he came home. His grandpa met him. "I heard you blowing a horn a long way off," he said. "There was still. I could hear it easy." "How did it sound, Grandpa?" "Oh, it sounded pretty." He stopped talking for a moment and cleaned his pipe. Then he said, "It sounded like you might have been lost." That made Bubber feel funny, because he had said he would mind where he blew his trumpet. "I know what you mean, Grandpa," he answered, "but I can't do like you say. When I'm blowing my horn, I don't always look where I'm going. I was lost," Bubber said. "You can end up in some funny places when you're blowing a horn and not looking where you're going." "I know," Grandpa said. "I know." "Well, what do you want me to do, Grandpa?" "When you go to school and play in the band, that is all right," Old Man said. "When you come home, you must put the trumpet away. It ain't good to go walking around with a horn in your hand. You might get into trouble." "But I feel lonely without my trumpet, Grandpa," Bubber said. "I don't like to be without it. I feel lost." Grandpa breathed a deep sigh. "Well, there you are, lost with it and lost without it. I don't know what is going to happen to you, Sunny Boy." "You do not understand, Grandpa. You do not understand." The old man smoked his pipe quietly for a few minutes, and then went to bed. Bubber did not move. Later, however, when he heard his grandpa sleeping in the bedroom, he went outside, down the road, and sat on the fallen tree. Soon he felt better. Now he was sure Grandpa did not understand how it was with Boy and his horn. A lonely boy with trumpet. Bobber pointed his trumpet at the stars and let the music come forth. Soon a big orange moon rose, and everything Bobber could see was suddenly changed. The moon was so bright, made the house and the trees seem very small. Bobber blew his trumpet loud. He blew it fast, and he blew it high. In a few minutes, he forgot all about Grandpa sleeping in the house. He was afraid to talk to Grandpa after that. Grandpa might get angry and order him to leave his trumpet at home. Bobber was growing very fast now. He knew what he liked, and he did not think he needed any advice from Grandpa. Yet he loved his grandfather very much, and he did not want to make him feel bad. Instead, he decided to leave home. He did not tell anyone where he was going. He was waited one night until the old man went to bed. Then he quietly left his house and started to walk down the road to Barbin's Landing. No boat was there, but Bobber did not mind. He knew he would not be lonely with his trumpet. He sat down to wait and began to blow on his trumpet. The next morning a boat came. Bobber got on it and kept right on blowing his horn. Nobody asked him to pay money for the boat ride. The man on the boat did not expect a young boy who played the horn to pay. And in the city of New Orleans, in the places where he ate, no one asked him for money. Even the people who kept the rooming house where he slept did not expect him to pay. In fact, people seemed to think that a boy who played the trumpet should receive money for playing. They began to throw money at his feet as he played. At first, Bobber was surprised. Then he began to think about Grandpa and how wrong he was about a horn blowing. So he picked up all the money they threw. He bought new clothes and looked for new places to blow his horn. He met boys who played violins and guitars and drums, and he played with them. He went to play on boat rides and at fancy parties. He played early in the morning and late at night. He bought more clothes and looked so different. He did not know himself when he looked in the mirror. It was wonderful to blow his horn so much and make money. He played at the more big parties and fancy dances. He played at so many places that he began to forget where he had been, because he was so busy blowing his horn when he got there. Then, one day, he received a strange call on the telephone. The voice of a gentleman said, "I would like to speak to the boy from Marsville, the one who played the trumpet." "I'm Bobber, sir. I'm the one." "Well, Bobber, I'm having a special party tonight. Very special." The voice said, "I want you to play for us." "Just me, sir? You want me to play by myself?" "Oh, there will be other musicians, Bobber. You will play in the band." "Where do you live, sir?" Bobber asked. "Never mind about that, Bobber. I will send my automobile for you." The voice was growing softer and softer, and Bobber did not hear their last words. "Where do you live, sir?" he asked suddenly. "I will send my car," the voice said, and was gone. Bobber lay back on his bed. He had played late last night, and he was very tired. And just as he closed his eyes, the doorbell rang, and he heard the steps of a man walk toward his bedroom. Then he heard the voice saying, I have come to take you to the dance, Bobber. So soon? Bobber asked. The man laughed. You've slept all day. It's night now, and we have a long ride. Bobber put himself from his bed and got his clothes. He found his trumpet and followed the man to the car. It was a great black car. Bobber sat in the back seat and soon felt very sleepy again. He looked around for a time, then at the driver in the front. He could not see his face. This troubled Bobber, and he tried and tried to see the face. The man's head was down low and his coat was up high. Bobber looked and looked, but could not see what the man's face was like. He decided it was no use to try, so he moved back against the seat and fell asleep. Part 2 of this story will be continued.